I was the first lady student to pass out in metallurgical branch. After that, everything was difficult. Nobody was ready to offer the job because I wanted to work on the shop floor. And when I resigned in 1993, I was foundry manager.
What are some key reasons why Kolhapur Foundry Cluster has developed so fast?
Kolhapur had a
What were some of the earliest ductile iron foundries you started working with in the 80s, 90s?
When we started, there was only government testing services available in Kolhapur. As the time advanced, Cupola started going on the back.
Correct.
And induction furnaces were coming up.
Correct.
And that also promoted manufacturing of SDI. For the foundry industry, future is good, but
With the Foundry Biz platform, we have now decided to actively add foundry consultants all over the world free of charge. And this is because we know that foundrymen need quality consultants if they want to grow their foundries. So head over to foundrybiz.com, find and locate your preferred consultant and grow your foundry the way that experts do. Welcome everybody. We are here in Kolhapur with Miss Nalini Nene. Well, welcome to the show, ma'am.
thank you.
So she's been an instrumental figure in the Kolhapur Foundry Cluster, right? Especially since 1966. But I think the main revolutionary thought is that at a time where no women were entering the workforce in the metallurgical field, especially foundry, she wanted to be on the shop floor. And I think that was a dream that you had much before you started your education. So tell us a little bit about your early life.
Actually, I have decided right from my school days
Correct.
that I should go for engineering.
Correct.
Because all lady students, they were going for medical.
Correct.
And right from that time, I used to feel that I should do something different from all other are doing. And I was also very good at maths, physics, chemistry, and I loved those subjects. So I decided right from my school days, I decided to go for engineering.
Correct. How did your parents feel about you joining engineering?
My father was a deputy collector. He was in government service, and he supported my desire to go for engineering.
That is very
sweet. It was very good thing that I never had to
go against your parents.
Yes.
Correct. That's very nice. So you finally get your...
I never had to fight on the home front.
Okay. That was nice. So you get into your engineering, correct? And now you complete your engineering. I think it was 3 years at your time.
Yes, correct? It was a 3 years course.
Correct.
So from 1963 to 66.
Correct.
I passed out graduate in metallurgical engineering. Correct. From College of Engineering, Pune.
Correct. That's good.
And I was the first lady student to pass out in metallurgical branch from Pune University.
Amazing. First lady student to pass out from engineering.
Metallurgical.
So I think mechanical was a more common topic, but metallurgical, I think you were the first.
Yes.
Amazing. And this is 1969, right? 66.
1966 I passed out.
1966 you passed out. Okay. So that's good. I'd like to congratulate you on that, Pete. That's good. So then you get into the workforce.
Yes.
Correct. And
because in college days it was not very difficult, because even from school days I had a very bright academic career.
Correct.
So study was not a problem for me. I passed out easily from metallurgical engineering with very good marks.
Correct.
But after that, everything was difficult.
Correct. So give us some...
scenario totally changed.
Correct.
Nobody was ready to offer the job because I wanted to work on the shop floor. I wanted that type of job. Actually, I was offered in our college a job in teaching field.
Correct.
But somehow I was not interested, and I was interested to work on the shop and learn the practical things there.
Correct.
So to get that type of job was very difficult. People were not accepting. Nobody feel that I can work on the shop floor. So after many difficulties, I got the job in Yashwant Iron and Steel Works Limited, Kolhapur.
Okay, so that is how you came to.
I started my career.
Correct, correct. And I believe Yashwant Iron and Steel was a turning point in your career because you
Yes.
stayed with them for very, very long, right? In today's generation where we switch jobs every year, you stayed with Yashwant Iron and Steel for 25 years.
Yes.
Correct. So I think that is where you got mainly your education and your understanding of foundry technology. Correct. And Cupola, as we'll see in the future.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about joining Yashwant Iron and Steel. What was the first year like? How did your peers accept you into the workforce?
Yes. It was also difficult in the to work on the shop floor in Yashwant Iron in prior days, because the workforce also had the same feeling.
Correct.
That a lady cannot work on the shop floor.
Correct.
So I had lot of difficulties
Correct.
at that time.
Correct.
But I proved myself that I can do all these things.
Correct.
And after that, the resistance slowly started decreasing, and ultimately it stopped.
Okay.
And after that, people gave me very good cooperation.
Amazing.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to break this barrier?
First 1.5 to 2 years.
Okay, so
It was a very difficult time.
Correct. So as soon as you joined Yashwant Iron and Steel, when you started your career, what were some practices you were taking as to learning? Were you taking notes in different departments? How were you applying your engineering knowledge to the foundry, and how are you learning? How are you basically, where were you getting your training from?
Yes, I started working on the shop floor.
Correct.
Some experienced people were there. I also learned from them. Besides that, it was a mehanite foundry, and we had a license of manufacturing mehanite from Walchandnagar Industries. At that period, it was known as Cooper Engineering Limited.
Okay.
And they were supporting us to manufacture the mehanite. So I was also sent there for a few months to learn the foundry practices required for the mehanite manufacturing.
Okay.
That way I learned. Also, mehanite people, they supplied us with lot of literature also,
Okay.
which I studied.
Right.
That way I started gaining the experience and knowledge.
Correct. So would I be right in saying that engineering during 3-4 years, maybe you learn the basics, but your actual applying of engineering is when you first start your job?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You would also felt the same because correct. So you start learning now through Cooper Corporation as well, and you're actively reading books. What was the first 10 years like, and how did you transition from up the ranks in Yashwant Iron?
I started as a trainee there.
Correct.
But I get many promotions there also.
Right.
And when I resigned in 1993, I was foundry manager.
Okay.
So I was responsible for all the activities of the foundry. So within that period, I learned to deal properly with the workforce, with higher authorities.
Correct.
And even the customers.
Correct.
Because we had customers all over India. We were specialized in sugar machinery casting, and the supply was going to all over India. We were also supplying heavy casting to other engineering industries, like machine tools, chemical industries, printing industry. So that way I had a very good experience in Yashwant Iron.
Correct.
Which made a foundation in my career.
For your future consultancy and everything else. But I want to ask you quickly, what were some practices you had with the workforce that allowed you to command respect and you to get all your subordinates to respect you and work along with you?
In that period, I worked on many difficult jobs and made them successful. So that way they also got confidence that I can do that work.
That is how they started to respect you. Yes. Okay. So you used to purposely take
I had
on
to
difficult...
prove myself. That was the...
Correct. And I think you did quite well. So because after 25 years of working with Yashwant Iron and Steel, you then moved on to your consultancy.
Yes.
Correct. So tell us a little bit about that process. What was it like starting your consultancy, and why did you make that jump?
Because after working for a long year, naturally one gets saturated and feels that now there is no further, there will be no further development in the
Correct.
career. And also, uh, one instinct was also there that I felt that I should do something of my own
Okay.
instead of doing a service.
Correct.
So that because of that, I resigned and started my own consultancy.
Okay.
But the experience in the consultancy was very good, because by that time I had many people. They knew me. They knew my competence. I had contacts all over India. So entering the consultancy field and growing there was not a problem.
Correct. It was, you mentioned, it was smooth sailing.
Yes.
Much smoother than joining the workforce first. Correct. So when you started your consultancy, what was the key problem that you were trying to solve for Foundries?
Yes, I offer consultancy in all facets of cast iron field.
Correct.
That is, one important field was cupola operation.
Correct.
In that, I had a very good experience in Yashwant Iron.
Correct.
So I did some pioneering work in divided blast cupola, and I designed and commissioned cupolas at least for 50-60 foundries.
So you set up 50-60
yes,
cupolas.
Cupola.
Okay.
And also I worked in cast iron metallurgy, then SG metallurgy also. And as the times advance and advancements in the field took place, I also offered consultancy in areas like sand technology, sand plants.
Correct. Amazing. So you had to keep up with technology in say educational field, right? You had to constantly learn what new was coming out in the market. Like you mentioned, even sand plants were starting to come out in the 80s, 90s. So you had to have a very good grasp on those technologies in order to also give consultancy. So how are you also learning from that? Is it by visiting various foundries?
Yes, visiting many foundries, visiting some advanced foundries, and
Correct.
also through the literature available on in the field, books.
Correct. Amazing.
Literature from the people manufacturing different foundry equipments.
Okay.
Because as I was working side by side, I was also learning and developing myself.
Correct. Correct. So I think that's very important, because you not only had your 25-year foundry career, but you were actively roaming about, visiting new foundries, learning what the new technologies are from foundry equipments. So I think that's a very good learning lesson. Like your initial 25-30 years might be very good, but technology is changing so quickly.
Yes.
As we discussed, which we'll get to now, ductile iron. This was a very big shift that you witnessed firsthand.
Yes.
So tell us about ductile iron.
Because as the time advanced, cupolas started going on the back.
Correct.
And induction furnaces were coming up.
Correct.
And that also promoted manufacturing of SGI, because for manufacturing of SGI, induction furnace is a must.
Correct.
So few foundries started making ductile iron. I worked with them, and that way I also got the knowledge of SGI metallurgy and all that.
Correct.
And afterwards I started and offering consultancy in ductile iron, metallurgy, methoding also.
Correct. Correct.
It was both ways, visiting the advanced foundries, continuously keeping contact with them, and also the literature studying.
Okay, so there was a lot of literature available?
Yes. Lot of literature is available on ductile iron also.
Okay, these were mainly foreign books?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So I'm going to test your memory now. What were some of the earliest ductile iron foundries you started working with in the 80s, 90s in Kolhapur that you can remember?
Yes. Menon had a foundry.
Okay.
At that time, it was known as Chandra Alloys.
Chandra Alloys?
Chandra Alloys.
Okay.
Afterwards, the name changed. And
correct.
Even when I was visiting I was working in Yashwant, I used to go there and I had conducted initial ductile iron
Okay.
trials there.
Correct, correct. So this would have been very long, 40 years back, maybe.
Yes.
Perhaps. That's amazing. So you're saying Menin is one of the key foundries that were into ductile iron even 40 years back.
And slowly the number increased.
Correct.
And many of my customers who were operating with Cupola, they installed induction furnace. So
Correct.
they started SGN manufacturing. That way I got the opportunity
Correct.
to offer consultancy in ductile iron.
Correct, correct. So you kept up with the new technology. So you now,
Yes.
even though cupolas were on the decline, you also had knowledge in SGI in which you could teach foundries how to apply to.
Yes.
That's really amazing. It's a good lesson in keeping up with new technology as to because otherwise you would have not had any business with cupola at that
Yes.
time as well. So that's really good. So ductile iron starts, things go ahead. Now I think you started a laboratory, the one that we are sitting here, Metaphor, in '97. So what was that thought process about?
In 1997, we start Metaphor Synthesis. It is a partnership one.
Correct.
At that time, when we started, there was only government testing services available in Kolhapur.
Correct.
And I had a constant contact with the industry because of my consultancy work. So I felt that there is a need for testing services, because small foundries, they were not having their own testing facility.
Correct.
They need those facilities,
Right.
but it was not available. So I decided to start this testing services, and also it was a supporting field to a consultancy.
Mm-hmm. You could come in, you could do your own internal
Yes.
testing and give a report in a very good, short period of time. Right. That's nice. So you're always thinking ahead. You're always at the top of your game. Correct. And I think that is why mainly a lot of people in Kolhapur have recommended me to come and interview you. They said you must interview Miss Nalini Nene because she has been a key figure in the Kolhapur Foundry cluster. So I think this is the reason why. Right. So now I want to ask you a few industry questions. Kolhapur Foundry cluster has become world famous. It's very large. Correct. So what are some key reasons why Kolhapur Foundry cluster has developed so fast, and maybe other regions like although Belgaum is a good foundry cluster, it has not developed to as fast as Kolhapur has, or even Pune, Mumbai is almost non-existent. So what does Kolhapur have that makes it so special?
Yes, Kolhapur had a foundry culture since very old time.
Okay.
Very earlier days, people were manufacturing oil engines.
Okay.
Oil engines were famous from the Kolhapur, and for that they had some small foundries. And the origin of the casting industry
Correct.
was in Kolhapur, and so that culture was there right from the beginning.
Okay.
So that type of labor who are prepared to work in the foundry, because foundry is a hard work requiring manual efforts.
Correct.
So that type of people were available in Kolhapur. Another thing, people had will to develop. So as the days advanced and technologies came, people also changed.
Correct.
From cupola, they changed to induction furnace. From induction furnace, they also changed automation. And nowadays, even the robots are in use in some of the
Right.
foundries.
Right.
So that type of culture is also in Kolhapur.
Right.
Also, it is near to Pune, and I have contacts with Belgaum industries as well as Kolhapur industries. I feel that Kolhapur industry people, they are more quality conscious. So that way Kolhapur became a major industry.
Correct.
to supply the automotive customers.
Correct. Also the proximity to Pune, hardly
Yes.
about 3 hours
Yes, I
distance.
mentioned.
Correct. So I think all these factors combined, the willingness to adapt new technology, the availability of manual workforce because of the oil engine industry previously, and also the enforcement of quality. Right, I think that was another driving factor. So all these have made Kolhapur as a foundry cluster. Because I remember coming here as a very young, while I was studying, my dad used to get me to various foundries in Kolhapur. They were supplying ingots back then. So the industry has really grown. That time we had, I think, Shiroli and Gokul Shirgaon, 5-star has come up now. There is a lot of big industries in Sangli as well. So the industry has really grown here, right? So what do you think your message is today? I think currently you're involved with a with a lot of social work, right? So tell us about that. Regarding your current social work.
Yes. I have written 4 books regarding different aspects of foundry technology in Marathi, because when I was working in Yeshwan as well as had contact with other industries, I
Correct.
felt that people are willing to learn, but they cannot understand English. So the English books available they can't study, and that I feel that the knowledge penetrate up to the lower level.
Correct.
So I wrote those books in Marathi. Also, nowadays I work for Marathi Vishwakosh.
Okay.
And for Marathi Vishwakosh, till today, I have written about 25 technical notes which have gone on the website of Vishwakosh.
Okay.
And when I was doing consultancy, I also have arranged some technical programs for the shop floor people, middle level people, as well as engineers. Some of the programs they were arranged in Marathi. So I feel that the knowledge whatever I have learned, it should be now given to the industry back. And so I work in that way.
Amazing. So I think thank you so much for your contribution, right? Especially for not only Kolhapur Foundry Cluster, but the Indian foundry industry. Because I saw a copy of the IFJ, Indian Foundry Journal. So even at today, you're still actively looking at new technology. You're still studying what new articles are coming out and new technology. So it's really remarkable. And you've definitely followed your passion all the way, and it has brought you this far, right? Would you like to talk about anything else?
Pardon?
Anything else you would like to mention?
I think that for the foundry industry, future is good, but people should manufacture quality castings with reasonable cost, sticking to the delivery schedules. And nowadays, the pollution norms are also becoming strict.
Correct.
So they should also adopt pollution control practices. So people who do all these things,
Correct.
they definitely have a future.
Correct. That's good. So thank you, Mr. Nene. Thank you especially for doing this interview. In fact, you were on off today, so you specially came to office just to make this happen. So I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for your time. Yeah, thank you.